that out. But let's see how I can do this. So I'm live. I can share my screen on YouTube. Is my screen currently being shared? Ehrm, can you check this out on your phone and see if my screen is shared?
Just you.
Fuck. Why did it just say share screen then? Window, entire screen. Okay, this is it. This is money. Now it should be good. Okay, show me now.
There's a delay. Hold on.
Are you serious?
Still just you.
Okay, so we got to go back. Let's just share my Google Chrome live stream because this is where I'm going to go anyway. So let's share screen. Let's go to window. Let's go to entire screen. Let's go share. Is it not sharing? Can you hear yourself speak when you speak? Because it says your audio should be connected.
I can, yeah.
Okay, you know what? That might just be what we have to settle for. I mean, if you could hear yourself, this is the life we have to live. So we're here for the NFL draft. You can't see it's over for him because unless I can figure this out technology-wise, but as long as you can be heard, I feel we're pretty in a good spot. I sure would like to figure that out, but now that I can't, I'm going to see this. Okay, this I can share. So I just Well, that sucks for but here we are, NFL draft day. We finally made it here. Pretty exciting. We've been building this up on the podcast for a while. I was going to try and log into Zoom, but I'm not going to do that while I'm live because that's just dumb. So, finally here, a lot swirling around in the news.
The problem is, obviously, they want to trade up, but should we give up the draft capital that we would have to give up to move up 2 extra spaces? And are these quarterbacks that we're going for worth giving up that draft capital?
You know what? I agree. Honestly, you know what is the thing? Like, so Tiki Barber, I was watching the fan today, and they said that Eli was drafted 20 years ago, and they went through the whole situation of trading the draft pick and Phillip Rivers. And like, I buy that hype because I'm kind of into that. Like the idea of like getting
You
your
always want to be hyped.
Yeah. Listen, I was not in on that train at all, and then they kind of bought me in on it, and I'm a little worried about how high I'm going to buy in on that. But oh my gosh, my dad dropped his phone in the train tracks at the Islanders game. Oh my god. I'm sorry, that's just hilarious. But I was just saying that because I was going to check Twitter to get that feed up. But you know what? Listen, I think they're going to trade up for Drake May. I really do.
I mean, I like May. I don't think he's a bad option, but I don't know if he's willing. I don't know if we should be willing to set the franchise back to trade up for him if he doesn't pan out. There's always a give and take there.
I do happen to agree. I actually don't think I listen. There's a lot of people that want quarterbacks. I feel like you and I have established that we're not really in on the quarterback wave. And listen, you want a quarterback. I respect it. I can respect the viewpoint. I understand you want to move on from Jones, but the reality of the situation is the guy's getting paid all this money next year, and it is what it is. Like I think we just got to deal with it. Obviously, we've said best case scenario is Marvin Harrison falls to them or Malik Neighbors falls to them, and the Cardinals someone trades for their pick. Which actually seems more likely than it should be. Like it's a little insane that this is happening. But yeah, it looks like the Patriots, according to some insiders, it looks like the Patriots are going to stick and pick. So that would change the whole view on Drake May.
Exactly. But I was hearing some things today that the Patriots are interested in JJ McCarthy.
Dude, can we just I'm not in on the JJ McCarthy hype. I really am not.
Neither am I.
I mean, listen, I'm even more annoyed because the Islanders are losing 2-0. But listen, what are we doing here? Like JJ McCarthy, listen, he wanted a system and maybe he will be a good QB, but you know what? I think he can't come into one of these lower teams. I think he's got to come into a good system. That's why if he was a later draft pick, I would like him more.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could win on that team, but
if the Giants stick and pick, I think we definitely get one of those two blue chip wide receivers because I was listening to Boomer and Gio this morning, and from what they're hearing, Jim Harbaugh wants a tackle. He wants a lineman in the fifth pick there. So
I think if Jim
things stay
Harbaugh
way,
drafts
we
the
should
tackle,
get
we
at
get
least one.
Harrison.
Well, I don't know if the Cardinals want Harrison. That could be an option for them. But then we get Neighbors, and it's good either way.
But if you're the Cardinals, like, and I would even entice this in the Giants, like if the Vikings wanted McCarthy that bad and they gave you an 11th and a 23rd, like that's tough to say no to.
Yeah.
Especially for two teams that are not one piece away. Like the Cardinals are not really one piece away either. So to be able to make a move like that, I don't think they would shut that down. Maybe something else thrown in there.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Bears will take too long. They are officially on the clock. I'd assume this goes pretty quickly. I'd be shocked if it went any otherwise, but obviously going to be Caleb Williams, I would think. They did say that on the fan. Tiki Barber said he wouldn't be shocked if Caleb Williams fell because the Bears would think.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either. That was just a theory. Like it was like an outlandish theory, kind of like don't be shocked. And listen, I wouldn't be shocked, but like, no, I wouldn't be shocked. But like, I could see the logic of it because listen, if you're not going to pick this first overall guy, and as good as Caleb Williams is, there are some red flags you can look at, and the other guys have done their work on their QB. Like he would fall pretty far, I would think.
I guess, because I think the Commanders are in love with Jaden Daniels. That seems to be what the general consensus is.
Still not.
And then Cardinals, Chargers don't need a quarterback. It seems logical.
Yeah, I mean the Titans. I don't think they would take him. Falcons. I mean they might. Honestly, who's the Titans quarterback? I don't even know.
Titans quarterback. Is it Will Levis? Is that their starter?
Yeah, so they might draft him with that, but again, I really don't see that as a likely scenario. You know what? I'm not a big. I'll say this right now. I'm not a big Caleb Williams fan.
I mean, I think he's fine. I don't know if he's the generational talent that he's being made out to be, though.
I agree. No, I don't know. I just feel like he's got a lot of attitude stuff and a lot of stuff going on there that kind of scares me off a little bit. You know, not going to the combine, not doing his medical tests, only doing it for certain teams. Like that strikes me as this guy is going to be a tough pro athlete in the locker room.
At one point, I did want to make that I was thinking about earlier. In the last 10 years, the 2014 NFL draft, I was looking at the list of quarterbacks that went first round. And the more I look at it, the more I realize that it's more misses than hits. So even if, regardless of what the Giants want to do here, I don't know if it's going to make or break the franchise here.
Wait, more miss than hits? What do you mean?
More misses than hits. I mean, like, I'll read you the list of quarterbacks that have gone in the first round in the last 10 years. Blake Bortles, Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Paxton Lynch, Mitch Trubisky, Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, Joe Burrow, Tua, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Kenny Pickett, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson. And I mean, granted, there are still some young guys there, but a lot of those quarterbacks aren't even in the league anymore.
And all the other guys are bench players or about to be out of the league. So, yeah.
So I think the point there is that if the Giants, if they decide to move up to draft a quarterback, they're giving up a lot. And they're going to be hitching the franchise and also Dable and Shane's job security to a guy who has a very low statistical chance of working out for us.
And you know what? Especially, too, if they trade up for a guy. Because if a guy falls into your lap, whatever, like you're still risking a lot. If you trade up a guy, if you give away future firsts, it's really, he better work out. Because otherwise you're setting the franchise back massively. So, listen, I don't know what's going to work out today. No one ever does. You know, it's always a mystery besides usually the first guy. And this one, I think it's going to be one of the more interesting drafts. I am confused, though, because no updates. I mean, the draft's supposed to start at 8. It said the Bears were on the clock a while ago on this. Another
think,
offer.
yeah.
So I don't know what's happening, and I'm confused. Also got the Giants depth chart up, so we can look at that as well and kind of pan between them. Now, you look at this, and I feel like they're
Wonderful quarterback room.
oh, the quarterback room is actually so gaudy. Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito. I don't know. Like some Giants fans have been saying that. So what I've seen from two groups, the wide receiver group is usually let's give Daniel Jones another shot or has some sort of sympathy to him for this year and then opt out. And then the quarterback group is let's see what Jalen Hyatt and Wan'Dale Robinson can do.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, besides Jalen Hyatt, both groups are kind of delusional for this. I just got to say that. Like, what are we doing here? Wan'Dale Robinson, do we have any faith in him? And Daniel Jones? I guess he was a second-round pick not that long ago, but still, like, I can't sit here and tell you he's going to be that. Like, listen, you're going to have to go one way and sacrifice somewhere, but still, that's just a brutal way to look at it, in my opinion. Looking up the draft.
I do remember hearing a couple months ago, Micah Parsons on his podcast said Wan'Dale Robinson is the real deal. So I don't know if that means anything, but I think that's an interesting point to put out there.
I mean, he was good against he had some
healthy,
good
though.
flashes, I would say. But
he's got to stay healthy, though.
He does. And that's the problem with a lot of these guys, and that's why they made the moves they did in free agency to bring in some of those guys and figure that out. But I don't know. I'm really excited. I just want this to get going. What sucks is we planned this around like we got to get it in time. We got to get it in time. And then the draft doesn't even start on time. 8:08, no pick has been made. It's bad for the kids.
Are the Bears even on the clock yet?
It said they were. I'm not getting any updates on Twitter, so I'm gonna look up on like main thing to see if they are, and maybe this is just wrong. No signs of anything yet. Last tweet from the Chicago Bears was 18 minutes ago saying, "Are you ready?" So, yeah, nothing else since that. You know what? It's a special day in New York. I mean, not for the Islanders anymore because they blew that. That series is over. We already knew that. But I mean, the Knicks are great, and the Giants are drafting potentially, could be a game changer for their franchise, 6th pick. The Jets could, if they get Brock Bowers, they will look so good. The Yankees are playing the A's. Like, there's so much going on, and I can kind of see a rise here for New York. The sporting scene.
It's been a long time since we had like a bunch of good sports teams, so that's good. That's good to know. That's good to think about.
This is awful to watch, though. 2-0 already Carolina, so I'm really upset. I was really upset the other 2 days. Didn't end well. So just bad omens all around. I mean, you'd love to see the kids get it done, but the kids can't get it done. And, now I got to sit here, and I really hope the Giants don't screw up this draft because it'll really ruin my day further than the Islanders ever could. That's not true. They can ruin it pretty big. A.J. Brown signs a 3-year extension with the Eagles, so good for them. $84 million, keeping him around. They're making some money moves.
The Lions got on the Raw lockdown.
They did? Really?
Yeah, I think so, right?
I don't know. I haven't looked at NFL Twitter since like the offseason was really going. And then of course like some draft insight. But you can't listen. I gotta look at draft insight before this because everybody's spewing things and putting things out there to throw other teams out, and it's like a poker match.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't look at it besides that. But that's really interesting that they got him down. The Giants are the Lions are so exciting.
Yeah, the Lions, they have a good future.
I really like the Lions. They're just so fun to watch and root for because they're such misfits. They're picking 29th, so I wonder what they'll take. They need a cornerback, offensive lineman, and wide receiver. What I love is I can just go. I don't know anything about another NFL team. What are they looking for? Dallas Cowboys. Offensive. They're looking for everything. They lost so many guys. The Cowboys are going to suck.
They need a coach.
They do. Did you see? They need an owner. Did you see Jerry Jones? He came out.
Does not know how the draft works.
He goes out and he goes, "We are the 24th best team in the NFL." And it's like, dude, that's not even close. Like, come on, man. What are you? The 24th best team in the NFL? There's 8 teams ahead of you. Like, what are we doing here? one of the funnier quotes going. I can't imagine being a Cowboys fan dealing with everything you deal with, and your owner comes out who's been the worst and just drops that on you.
Yeah,
A guy who cares all about winning. So bragging about 24th.
he definitely does not care about winning, given everything he's done the last several decades in Dallas.
Dallas it's about to get dark times. I really do believe that. I mean, it's just Dak is not going to be there.
We were 10 minutes ahead. The Bears are just on the clock now.
Okay. Cool. Well, you know, we got
NFL
some.
Twitter 1 second ago. Chicago's now on the clock.
Oh, beautiful. It's
There we
updated on
go.
this. Here we go. So it looks like this should go
be
quick.
There's
Yeah.
no reason to not. There's no reason to drag this out.
I would say 1 and 2 will be quick.
Yeah, there's no reason. Really, there's no. Yeah, the first 2 picks should be almost immediate.
You know what? I'm a little upset with Washington. They won't be taking Marvin Harrison and helping one of the greatest generational QBs in Sam Howell. They'll be opting to get a new QB, and I just think that's the wrong call.
Yeah, I mean, he played so well last year.
He's just such a good guy. But I honestly know if they get Jane Daniels, that's one of my favorite QBs of mine in this draft are those two.
Scary.
What?
Jaden Daniels is good. If they can put a team around him, that could be scary.
Yeah, I concur. I think that's really bad news for the Giants to see another good QB enter this. I mean, again, I said I'm not worried about the Cowboys for a while, but Commanders, they could build something here. They could start to build, and that does worry me a little bit. So I'm not happy about that.
We always dominate the Commanders, even when they're good and we're bad. We still find a way to always beat them.
That is true. That is true. Here we go. Oh, everyone's getting M&Ms out there in Detroit right now. The crowd is getting actually wild. You know what's funny about this, though? Like, you see, I don't get what they do with drafts because Detroit's got the playoff height, but you're drafting 29th. So, like, I don't know. I feel like the NFL and other sports leagues should really not do it around I mean, they probably had the schedule out for a while. I understand that. But there's a lot of hype around a draft and a team that, like, you guys are good now. Like, you're drafting 29th. Most fans probably aren't even watching the first round.
Yeah, but this has probably been on the docket for years now.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they do schedule them like 3 years in advance, but I don't know. And the M&M coming out, like, the Detroit's just got such good times going. Like, I can't stop saying that. I'm excited for them genuinely. It's just good times there. Really is.
Yeah.
What you would do.
What would you do to have a team like that?
I know. I mean, it's like they just suffer for so long, and then it finally pays off. Chicago's still on the clock. I mean, come on.
For what possible reason?
Telling you, he's going to fall. Could you imagine? Could you imagine they pick, like, Marvin Harrison here or the edge rusher, Dallas Turner?
They definitely. There's no way. There's no possible way.
I'm sorry, dude. If Tiki Barber called it on the fan, oh my God. That would be shocking.
I couldn't imagine.
I mean, they're taking a while. The Bears have been on the clock for 2 minutes, so unless they're just milking it.
Yeah, they're probably just milking it so, the broadcast can talk up Caleb Williams for 10 straight minutes is probably the goal.
That is probably true, but you know what? One can just theorize how crazy this draft will get. I remember when Shane Wright fell to 4th overall in the NHL draft. That was wild. And sometimes I feel like a first overall pick, if the team that's projected to take the stud doesn't take him, everyone else gets scared and they've done their work on another guy.
Because they don't know what was wrong with the guy.
Yeah, because they know this team's done all the work. If they're not going to take him, heck, I'm not getting in on that. Okay, but they do need to hurry up because this is actually a joke in the Chicago Bears decision room. I mean, what are we doing?
It should be illegal.
You know what? It honestly should. Like, no one cares. I'm not watching the broadcast. I'm here to watch the Giants get Malik Neighbors or some good wide receiver, and then I'm here to go home and rest with that, and then watch my team lose for the 3rd straight time. Like, that's the way that it is.
Then you'll get to watch the Knicks maybe win.
This is very true, but too many men. Wow, this team's doing great. Really doing. They are special. Let me tell you. I'm just really hopping around different things, really seeing. Let's hit this. Do they have anything? No. Wait, 5 minutes on the clock? How long are they on the clock?
It started at 8:10.
Are you
So I think
serious?
10 minutes.
They have
I think
10
so.
minutes on the clock? I thought it was 3.
No, that's like fantasy football.
That's like the NHL is 3. It's 10 minutes? Oh my God, make a life decision. I could just, how am I going to twiddle my thumbs? I'm looking this up.
I can't imagine they'll take the full 10 minutes. That'd be absurd.
On the clock in the draft. Unless I'm just being an idiot. Yeah, NHL is 3 minutes. That's absurd. You don't need 10 minutes.
I don't know.
I mean, it's a big decision, but like, you gotta come on here. I guess it's big for the trading. Like, I could get that. You got 10 minutes to
Yeah.
negotiate. Just hopping between here. I think what I would like personally, you know what sucks is that I wish that like the second round could be bunched into the first, but I know no sports do that, so it makes sense. But I just feel like the second round is a big test for the Giants. That's going to be a big one as well. But in the later rounds, like 3, 4, all that, I would really like give me some safety action here. Give me someone to play with Jalen Mills. Maybe a cornerback would be nice. Someone to hop on with Deontay Banks. Where is Deontay Banks in this depth chart? Am I dumb? Oh, here he is. There we go. Trey Hawkins. Like, I don't believe that they think Trey Hawkins is the guy 5th round pick or 6th round pick the other year. Oh, pick is in. So it should be Caleb Williams, I would imagine. I mean, this would be just. I'm sorry. I know this is delusional, but how funny would it be if they just shocked the world?
That would be the funniest possible timeline, definitely.
Yeah, Trey Wingo said it on Twitter. What is the reason the Chicago Bears are waiting 5 minutes? And I happen to very much agree, Trey.
My theory is they just want the broadcast to talk up to Caleb Williams for 10 minutes. I think that's the goal.
Oh, your theory is totally the realistic, like, corporate consumerism. Like, that's the real reason. But you know what? I'm not going to think that way. I'm going to think the way of Dallas Turner as a Chicago Bear. Just for the plot line. Dude, I'm sorry. This is outrageous. We got to work on this website as well. Pick is in, but the Commanders are on the clock. What are we doing, kids?
Well, I guess the Bears submitted their pick. So once that happens, the Commanders are on the clock. It's just they haven't announced it publicly yet.
Okay, I'm sorry. I hate the NFL draft
Caleb
officially.
Williams.
What?
Sleeper NFL confirms Caleb Williams on Twitter as of 10 seconds ago.
Damn. Rip.
Guess they were the first to it.
Rip the plot line. New franchise QB. Chicago's going to be scary. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're going to be
And
good.
then they go back up to pick at 9.
Oh,
yep, there you go.
Great. There we go. We're finally up here. Yeah, and I mean, you look at who's going to be around in line. Let's pull up our prospects. So Marvin Harrison, Malik Neighbors, and Roma Dusney. I think they're all gone, and they're obviously not taking another QB. But a guy like Dallas Turner, he could be around at 9, I would think. Brock Bowers will maybe be around at 9. I could see him.
Maybe.
And then you could also add a nice piece to the O-line. So it's just so stacked back there. I'm excited. They've been suffering for so long.
All they need is a coach.
Oh, and they get that, they're going to be in good form.
Matt Eberflus is going to not necessarily lead them to the promised land, I don't think.
No, I can't imagine. But, I mean, you know what? A lot of guys can do. They can at least make it with the pieces and maybe not the coaching. And I think they'll find that guy eventually. And I think the Commanders will be fairly quickly. Not quickly because Chicago took 5 minutes, but I think this one is pretty set in stone as well. This is probably going to be Jane Daniels. And then I would think the next one is where we really get interesting as the time ticks down.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be the big pick. That's going to be the one that kind of defines it. So let's look at this trade now. Now that it's said and done, this is what they traded. Bryce Young, this is insane, for DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, a 2023 first-round pick, and then their second in 2023, which they used to pick cornerback Tyreek Stevenson. Now their first in 2024, which is used to pick Caleb Williamson. and then they still have a second in this deal, part of 2025. So the deal is not complete for Chicago. What a king's ransom!
All for Bryce Young.
All for Bryce Young. Nothing more was thrown in. Wow.
Not that he's gonna. He still has time to improve, obviously.
Yeah.
But
even if he does,
that's an absurd. That's an absurd.
I mean, and even like I think he will improve. He's gonna get a better O line, so he's not gonna get sacked as much. But dude, he would have to be Brady to live up to this because Caleb Williams he matches up better than him already. That's one part of the deal. Like that's insane. And then you add in DJ Moore, who's a great wide receiver, and another first round pick in 2 seconds. This is just, oh my gosh. This is a tough time to be a Panthers fan. And think about it too. Imagine they got.
Has there ever been a good time to be a Panthers fan?
No, there hasn't. But I mean, I guess the 1 year with Cam Newton, but even then, that didn't really work out for them. But dude, oh my god! Like just thinking, like imagine the Panthers got Marvin Harrison right now, and the Cubs are up at 9, or the Bears. The Bears are up at 9, and we're talking about how they could trade up. Like, what a different story we're focusing on if they didn't trade it. I mean, I guess they would have taken Bryce Young, but wow, what a great move for their franchise. They really cooked there.
Yeah, especially if Caleb Williams turns out to be everything he's been promised to be. That is an incredible fleece thing.
Yeah, and I will also say this: if you are the Patriots, I'm sorry, like you're not there yet. Like, I don't believe in drafting a QB before the system's set up. That's the reason I'm against the Giants doing it. And I would look into that. Like, if team wants to trade up, man, get that king's ransom because 9 times out of 10 you're getting it. Like even when it's a proven player and you're selling a lot for him, it's usually the team with the draft picks that can luck out because they've got opportunities to get these great young players and draft them homegrown. Why would you not do that? Get some more homegrown draft picks. You're trading an unproven player already. And if it's Drake May or JJ McCarthy, like I'm totally into that. I'm sorry. And Chicago Bears, that's all the talk is about. Nothing really to talk about. I guess they'll just be talking about that draft pick for a while. 3:38 on the clock for the Commanders.
It's getting absurd.
It really is. Goodell's talking the future, the international and Christmas Day games, so that's probably what was taking up some time. Caleb Williams from USC. This is going to be crazy, but do you get a little worried about that he's from, like not a team that's consistently in the top 4, not like a Nick Saban Alabama type team?
The Pac-12 doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, like I don't know. That would worry me a little bit. Just a tiny bit. I don't like that. But, I mean, listen, that's coming from some guy who's not a professional scout. He's just some guy studying counting. Like, what the hell does he know about a quarterback? Hasn't watched any film. Don't put any grain of salt in that. I just looked at the college and said, I don't know. They don't strike me as a football school. I don't hear about them that much.
Yeah, exactly.
LSU does.
Or a basketball school.
Jane Daniels. I really like Jane Daniels. I'm worried about the injury history a little bit. I don't like the photos. It does seem like he's going to have to get some sort of surgery on that elbow because who the hell knows what's going on there. But
that did not look good, yeah.
But listen, I mean, I like that scrambling ability. I like Jane Daniels. I think he's going to be one of the better. I think he's going to be second best QB in this draft. My hot take is I don't believe in Caleb Williams that much. I really don't. He annoys me a lot with some of his personality. And you know who he reminds me of? The Ball family in the NBA. How their dad was so annoying about the shoes and this and that. That's what it reminds me of.
That was entertaining, though. That was a good era of, being a sports fan. That was fun.
It was. I agree. But, like, I don't want that anywhere near my team. Like, if...
Yeah, that is true.
If that were the Knicks... What?
If it's somebody else's team, though, it's very funny.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But if I'm a Bears fan, dude, this circus of him being like, I need draft ownership, oh, my goodness. I can't get into that. I mean, I'm sorry. I just can't get into that stuff. Jane Daniels gets ready. I'm surprised they haven't made this pick yet. The pick is in, so it's probably going to be Jane Daniels. If it says the pick is in from this point, for these 3 picks, it's going to be Jane Daniels. We have the script already. If it doesn't say the pick is in, that means there's a trade. So I feel like pick is in, sign. There won't be a trade here. I really hope the Cardinals make a trade. I really need that in my life.
something to spice this draft up a little bit.
Honestly, and also, like, I'm okay with Roma Duzne coming out and becoming a New York Giant, but I just feel I don't know, there's that little regret that you could have gotten him later. So it's kinda like,
Yeah, always.
I don't know, I just really would like to get some top line talent here.
But the
Just
thing, wait, you mean line isn't just like top line generally or offensive line?
wait, what'd you say? Offensive
No, do you
line?
mean top line not just like generally the best, or you mean like specifically the offensive line,
Oh,
which is
just
still a
generally the
disaster?
best. Generally
Oh,
the
yeah.
best.
But I saw this thing today that apparently the Giants have far and away spent the most draft capital on linemen of any team. There we go, Jaden Daniels.
Yep. What were you saying?
In like the last 5 years, something the Giants have spent more draft capital on the offensive line than any team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yet we've gotten really nothing from it.
We have, and we've missed a lot. I do think Evan Neal could be a good guard in this league, maybe,
Yeah,
like a decent enough
maybe.
one.
I'm sure he'd light up the XFL.
Yeah, he would definitely light up the XFL. Listen, I think if they start him at tackle this season, I think it's a joke. Like, what are we doing? He's probably not going to do well there. And you got a guy who can go and play right tackle in Olimer. So just give the kid a shot at guard. Maybe it works out for him. And I think that's best case scenario. The Giants will have a decent O line. So I'm not that against them bringing in a QB. But I do think if you have your wide receiver and you have your O line and Darren Waller, I don't think he's going to retire. It's really late for that. I mean, you know, this is officially you can what? Oh, your audio is cut out. That's not good. Oh, you're muted. You muted yourself on Zoom.
Oh shit! Oh, I was just coughing, and then.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming it was a Waller joke about some recent news that has come out about him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guessed what it was.
He's gonna need the money. I'm sure he's gonna need the money.
And he's gonna have the time.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of saying, but I was like, it might be too soon. But Ehrm just ripped off the Band-Aid for us here, folks.
Somebody had to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That is at least your X on the mark. That Daniel Jones is nothing. I don't think he's anything already, but for some of the people out there that still have some sort of faith in him, that's your X on the mark. Patriots are up now. I think if the Giants are making a move, it's the Patriots. What?
This is where the draft really begins.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're making a move, it is the New York Patriots. It's a 0 chance from Adam Schefter that the Patriots trade. They will stick and take their QB of the future. So that's really boring. So Drake May, it seems like, unless this is some crazy poker play, is going to be a New England Patriot. There's nothing going on there. I think this is the wrong call for them.
The real question, though, is if the Patriots take Drake May, do the Giants still trade up for J.J. McCarthy?
Oh, my gosh, no. No.
They better not. I don't think they would. Because
I think Drake May's their guy. I don't think JJ's their guy. I think, listen, and the thing is, too, when you're trading up, I think you've done your paperwork on a guy, and that's the only way you can do it. You got to fall in love with him. I think they fell in love with Drake May. I don't think New England's going to let him go. The beautiful thing about the Manning situation was the Chargers didn't want to let him go, but the Manning family was like, you're going to be let go because he's going to be a New York Giant. Like, stop. I don't think Drake May is going to do that, but we can do some.
Also, is that my fear is, do Brian Dable and Joe Shane really want to hitch their job security to J.J. McCarthy?
No. And J.J. McCarthy's not going to be good.
I would hope they're smarter to do that in the first round, in the first 6 picks.
Listen, okay, if J.J. McCarthy gets drafted back here, if he gets drafted to a team that needs a QB, let's say he goes and he falls back to I don't know, he falls back to maybe where are the Las Vegas Raiders? Like, I could see him being decent on the Raiders. The Raiders got some weapons. They got a decent team built there. They need a guy that can throw the ball better than Jimmy Garoppolo. I could see that. Like Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams. He could maybe cook a little bit there. He's not going to cook on the New York Giants with Wan'Dale Robinson and Jalen Hyatt, and he's not going to cook on any of these teams.
He's either a project that needs to sit behind a veteran for a few years, or he needs to come into a situation that's already ready-made for him.
I agree. I think if he got the Jordan Love treatment, he could be a very decent QB. I'm taking the hat off because it hurts so much. So that's coming off. I got this cool little clicker thing. You know what? I just realized it's for dogs.
Pick is in. There we go.
Pick is in.
It's gonna be Drake May. There's
Yeah.
no way it's not. Right?
Yeah, no, it's got to be Drake May. I'd be very shocked. Well, a lot of Giants fans are probably upset right now.
Because now it looks like JJ McCarthy. You are a New York Giant.
No, don't do this to us. Dude, we can't do this. Oh, you're gonna see tears on this stream. The Islanders are getting bullied. If JJ McCarthy's a New York
We
Giant,
still have the Knicks. Still have the Knicks for now.
oh,
We'll
the
see what
Knicks.
happens.
The Knicks are losing actually, so we don't need to do
They
this.
are?
Out
What's
of
the
town
score?
score break. They were losing when I last checked, but out of town score break. Okay, what is this doing here? Oh, okay. I can't check the Knicks on this, so we're gonna go to out of town score break. ESPN app. Oh, we did it. Oh,
It's not too bad.
they're in the game. Listen, they've come back from
It's
worse.
fine. There's time. Yep, official Drake May. There we go.
Dang. You know what? I wish I didn't buy into the hype of Drake May. I kind of started to drink that Kool-Aid, if you will. But now I am seeing that's the only reason I'm kind of upset. But I do think that wasn't meant for them. I don't think listen, you can ask anyone I've talked to, and just so that I don't sound like an hypocritical idiot after Drake May gets drafted to the Patriots and not the Giants. Before today, I thought Drake May, JJ McCarthy, bust. After listening to Tiki and Cheryl Morash, I thought Jake May, maybe JJ McCarthy bust. And now I'm thinking maybe I was right the first time, and let's just hope that that's the way that it is.
Are you really going to trust Sean Morash with your decision making, though?
I am. I listen. I don't believe in him at all. I think what WFAN has become is something I can have a chat with about for a while because I don't think it's the same thing it used to be. I think he's a little crazy sometimes. Like the other day, Derek Jeter and Patrick Ewing in a debate. Derek Jeter, I'm sorry. Derek Jeter is the most overrated baseball. I know you're a Yankees fan. You're going to get really mad at me for this. Oh, I didn't even think about that going into this. Derek Jeter is the most overrated baseball player of all time. He's still great. He's still a champion. I'm not taking that away from him. He's still a great shortstop. He is the most overrated baseball. Take it back. He's the most overrated athlete of all time, and it's not even close.
That's not true.
It's not even close.
Drake May.
Listen, I get it. Patrick Ewing didn't win a championship, but I just really his stats aren't that amazing.
You have to remember he was a defensive shortstop as well.
That is true. But listen, okay, here's my argument. If Derek Jeter was not on the New York Yankees, that's he would have done nothing. If he had been drafted by the New York Mets, he would have just been David Wright. He would have been pretty good. Probably would have gotten injured because he would have been a Met, so that's usually what happens. And he would have done no championships because the Mets suck. So you see how different his career path all started in the Bronx, and that's what saved his career, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree because the Yankees are the hottest ticket in professional sports, basically. Playing for the New York Yankees is a brand in and of itself. So, of course, he was going to be more prominent in that sense. But he was still very talented. If he was drafted by the Mets, he probably still would have put together a Hall of Fame career. Maybe no championships, but a Hall of Fame career is still probably.
Yeah, you are probably right.
Docket.
Listen, I'm also biased as a Mets fan. I will openly admit that. I do think he should still be in the top 5 of this New York draft pick list, but I'm just the only reason I got aggravated by it remotely was because LT gets picked and some Yankees fans are mad, and it's Lawrence Taylor. He's a dog.
Lawrence Taylor was the greatest, easily.
You know what else was bad about this list is the Cardinals are on the clock, so I should probably be paying attention to Twitter. But Roger Clemens, who was drafted by the Mets, was on the list. It was outrageous.
Did he ever play?
He didn't sign with the Mets. He didn't sign with the Mets. So they took his time as a Yankee.
That's like calling John Elway the greatest Yankees pick of all time.
Yeah.
It's just absurd.
It was wild. I was like, Roger Clemens ahead of Brian Trache, Mike Bossy, let's see, Phil Simms, David Wright, Don Mattingly, all these New York legends, and it's Roger Clemens getting picked by a
And
team he didn't play for.
Roger Clemens made his name in Boston, right?
Yeah, what are we
And then he
doing
came
here?
to the Yankees at the tail end of his career.
Like that'd be like if you put Pedro Martinez on it. If Pedro had to be
Exactly.
happening in a similar thing, like Pedro's was a good Met, but you wouldn't put him on the top 20. He was a fantastic Hall of Fame Red Sox. Like what the heck kind
Exactly.
of choice is that? Cardinals are not expected to trade pick after last year's movement all around the first round. Cardinals are expected to stay put and take an off. This sucks. This draft sucks. This is an awful
Yeah,
draft.
this is not entertaining.
Like,
No drama this year.
They're just following exactly what they're saying. If the Chargers take Neighbors, it's gonna ruin my day. My day's gonna be ruined. I'm not gonna sleep well.
But then that becomes a question for the Giants. If the Cardinals take Neighbors and the Chargers take a lineman, there you go. Well, if the Chargers take a lineman like Boomer and Gio were saying, do we take Marvin Harrison at 6 or do we still go for JJ McCarthy?
Wait, what? You don't think they take Harrison here?
I would hope so, but there's always a chance that they want their quarterback. And if their quarterback is on the board.
They took Marvin Harrison. You knew that was going to happen.
Official?
I can't be that sad.
Is that official?
Yeah, I just got it officially on Twitter. NFL Rumors broke it.
But then we're still in contention for Malik Neighbors, who's almost as good.
Here's what interests me. Okay, so the Giants are picking 6th. The Vikings should get JJ McCarthy anyway. He'll fall to them. So they wouldn't even trade up for us. So it's going to be Neighbors or a Dusnay will be the Giants pick.
Hopefully. We'll see, though. We'll see.
Give me Los Angeles Chargers, draft a tackle. But if they draft Neighbors, I feel like it's kind of meant to be. If we get a Dusnay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it could be worse.
I mean, they just lost Mike Williams. I think they probably are looking at a wide receiver pretty strongly here. So let's pull up the Chargers.
Phil Simms is comparing Caleb Williams to Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my God.
On Twitter.
I love when like teams just jump on this stuff so early. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Gus Edwards is their running back. Oh my God. Wow, this team sucks.
Gus Bus. Well, it's going to be a multi-year project for Jim Harbaugh, that's for sure.
Hear me out. This isn't going to happen. But could you imagine they made a blockbuster move, drafted JJ McCarthy, and traded Justin Herbert?
It's not outside the realm of possibility. You never know.
And honestly, I don't know what I'd have to give up as a New York Giant. I would throw it all away. I'd throw it all away. Take the coach. I don't even care. I mean, he wouldn't do well. We don't have anything else going on, but if he wants to throw to whatever 33-year-old Darren Waller, he does have that. I can't believe no one traded. This is worse. This is worst case scenario to me.
This does not make good content for us.
No, this sucks. I mean, what are we doing here? They just fell right in. Yeah, I mean, Cardinals got better. They still are so many pieces away. I would have entertained a trade with the Vikings, but JJ McCarthy's going to fall to them because the Jets aren't going to take a QB. Bears aren't going to take a QB. Falcons aren't going to. Titans, I'd be shocked. I mean, they could because they don't have a good QB, but I don't think they would. This is worst case scenario.
The thing that still confuses me about the JJ McCarthy hype is nobody, even after he won the national championship, nobody saw him as a day one draft pick. And then out of nowhere, he suddenly becomes a top 5 talent. That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The Combine and Harbaugh.
Yeah, the Harbaugh comment. I don't even know if the Combine did all that much. It was that one throw he made at his pro day and the Harbaugh comment.
Yeah, that's what I meant, the pro day. I mixed it up. But yeah, I it's shocking, but that's the way it is, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say about it. I'm surprised that people are really buying into this. I will say, if I'm the Minnesota Vikings and I'm a fan of them and I get McCarthy at 11, listen, I don't like JJ McCarthy, But going into this day, they thought they were trading for the fourth massive W. Great news for the
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings.
Is that way you still get the guy you pretty much figured you were going to get anyway, and you didn't have to give up anything to get it.
And you get a 23rd. You get to keep your 23rd pick. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
like they're going to do something with that as well. Build some more pieces here. I love that for them. Of course, unless I see, like the crazy storylines could have been so much fun. Like imagine you had some crazy storyline. Caleb Williams falls. Imagine you had some crazy storyline. Drake May gets traded to the Giants. Imagine you had some crazy storyline. Jim Harborough goes for JJ McCarthy, and they would have spiced up the draft. Everyone would be like,
This
"Wow!"
was the worst possible timeline,
Honestly, like
content-wise.
everyone would have loved it. We would have been
This is how
living.
you know the NFL isn't rigged, though. Because it's just happening exactly as you would expect it.
Maybe the draft isn't rigged. I'm not ruling
Yeah.
out the regular season.
Well, that's an argument for another day.
Yeah, exactly. First time ever, but damn, Harrison is such a stud. Kyler Murray has to be ecstatic. Kyler Murray's jazzed. He's tweeting. Kyler Murray's tweeting on the phone. Let's rock. 53 seconds ago. So will Daniel Jones send out a tweet if they get Malik Neighbors? Daniel Jones
Does
in
Daniel
like
Jones even tweet?
I don't know if he does. I mean, he was at that Zach Bryan concert, like tearing his Achilles. So
He was having a good time, though.
no,
He was having a good time.
you know what?
Let the man have some fun.
He did. Let me tell you this. I will take the boring draft day if we get a Daniel Jones tweet and it's like a part from Wolf on Wall Street. And Andrews Lee tweeted it when he got extended. It's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. If he tweets that when if they draft a wide receiver, oh my God. That would be I'm sorry. You have to give the guy credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Or I'm still standing. Plays the Elton John music. I mean,
Until tomorrow when they draft Bo Nix.
yeah, dude, Bo Nix isn't going to be available.
That's correct, probably.
Chargers are picking. No trade means the Giants' patience paid off if they want a QB. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. No, wait. No. 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 If they pick J. McCarthy, I'm going to cry. On live stream.
On live stream.
Let's get an out of town score update. Brought to you by no one because this is being live streamed. But if this were not, I would probably make a joke. Tie game.
Perfect.
This one's not going to go as well. You're just going to have to stay with me. They scored a goal.
There's something.
Oh my God. I can't believe they did that. Pierre Engvall? What? How did he do that? This is the craziest goal.
Hold on.
What?
Did the Chargers just trade their pick?
Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Hold on, I just refreshed Twitter.
I'm not getting anything. Ian Rappert says no trade.
Maybe it was fake news.
Yeah, Adam Schefter saying they're keeping it as well. I think you're just spreading lies.
I don't know. I saw something that said
Oh my gosh, I will be so
Chargers to Vikings, but that could have just been someone spread misinformation on Twitter. That would never happen.
Listen, okay, hear me out. Another theory time. I'm just going to keep throwing outlandish theories out. If J.J. McCarthy gets drafted, do you buy into the 20-year parallel of Eli Manning getting drafted and the 20-year parallel of the Giants? Every time they win a championship, it's 20 years within their next one. 87, 07, 91, 11. Well, 12, but you know what I mean. It's the same season. If they draft...
You can draw a parallel to anything, though. Like, do you remember the last time the Giants picked a quarterback at 6th overall?
Yeah, I do. It was 2019. I'm aware.
No, my point is you can draw a parallel to anything.
And we're not going to say who it was. But no, trust. I can draw this parallel because this parallel is working out. The last guy to be a part of the parallel, last time they were part of the 20-year parallel, it was Eli Manning. And they're part of the 20-year parallel again. And they could be drafting Eli Manning. For all we know, the next Eli Manning could be J.J. McCarthy. This is how rational.
Unlikely, but possible.
This is how rational people deal with 10-year droughts of just being awful.
I will say I kind of feel bad for Daniel Jones, though. Like, yes, he got his money. He'll be fine. Oh, Pick is in.
Pick is
But
in.
no
trade.
like it's too bad it had to end this way. It could have worked out much better than it did, but that's the way it is.
No, that's gutting. I'm sorry. If you're Daniel Jones and you see as we talked about in the podcast, Tommy DeVito is legitimately representing your team at the NHL Winter Classic at MetLife, not the $40 million man. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. That's so depressing. Sorry, had to check the out of town scores. So
it looks like Joe Alt, offensive tackle out of Notre Dame.
So Malik Neighbors is alive and well.
Malik Neighbors is still on the board, yes.
He's got to be. I would think he's the Giants' pick. Unless if I'm the Vikings, I'm calling the Giants.
I would too, but are the Giants picking up?
I don't know. I mean, okay, so I don't think if they trade back, I don't think they get a Duzne because, I think the Titans might take him, and then there's also the Bears. I don't think the Jets would, but Titans, Bears, and I think that's really your main competition there, but I don't think you'd get him. I do think you'd get Bo Nix in the later part of the draft, so you would get your QB. But
I still think that's the best way forward for the Giants. Not that there's any guarantee that Bo Nix works out, but for what you'd be giving up to get him, it makes more sense than J.J. McCarthy, if you ask me.
Oh, if they're going to draft J.J.
Not that my opinion goes for anything.
Let's see this. In recent weeks, both the Patriots and Vikings reached out to the Chargers to see if they had any interest in trading Justin Herbert. It was a flat-out no. So Adam Schefter reporting that my little plot line was all fake news.
Who would trade Justin Herbert, though? That's absurd.
An idiot. I don't know. I was underestimating them. Listen, the great one was traded. So if Wayne Gretzky can get traded, no one is safe.
But hockey's a different sport.
That is true, but the point is still the same. I think that's the saying. So we are on the clock, folks, ladies and gentlemen out there. It took us about 48 minutes to get on the clock, but we finally made it here. And I feel pretty excited about this. I want to trade back. The Vikings have to be picking up the phone right now because if the Giants play their poker well, they've said we like J.J. McCarthy. They're playing the right words. The Vikings want this guy. I think they're calling him. I don't think a trade's going to happen, but I would do it. And if I'm the Giants, I'm playing that tune right now. And if they get it, Joe Schoen would cook.
Yeah, I trust Joe Schoen. I think he'll do what needs to be done.
There's three things here. The Giants get Neighbors, they trade back, or they pick J.J. McCarthy. Worst case scenario.
Possible options.
What?
Those are the three possible options at this point.
If they pick J.J. McCarthy, it is the worst possible scenario the draft could have taken, even going in. I don't even think we reviewed this as a scenario in the podcast. I don't even think this was on our radar. The other two we did review, and they're pretty decent scenarios, I would say.
Yeah, either way, I think those work out well enough for the Giants.
There's going to be a lot of Giants fans upset. I feel like the Giants fans are so 50-50 right now, like when you try and get a pulse.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we trust our guys. We trust the front office now, at least.
And it looks like the pick is in, according to a couple sources. Malik Neighbors is a New York Giant, to the looks of it.
That's word on the street.
I am, you know what? I'm excited. I'll take it.
If that happens, that could be an interesting turn of events.
Everyone is some verified accounts are posting it, and
the Giants took Neighbors. If
that's
the Giants
official.
Took Neighbors and then moved back into the end of the first round to get Penix or Bo Nix, that could be an option.
That is a nice move. The question is, what do you move back in with?
Yeah.
And I don't know what they would do. The pick is in. So I do think Malik Neighbors is a New York Giant.
We'll see about that.
And you know what? Wow, first surprise. Alt goes 5 to the Chargers. I actually like this pick. So somewhat shocked they didn't go wide receiver for the Chargers. I saw that, and I saw it didn't go wide receiver, and my heart stopped.
Jim Harbaugh loves to run the football, though. So
yeah, exactly.
He got his guy.
You think he looked for Blake Corum in the later rounds?
He would probably look for him if he's there. If there's already the connection there, I think it's a match made in heaven. If they get it for the right value at the right time.
So let's pull up the depth chart. Let's get it rolling. Jalen Hyatt and, well, obviously Malik Neighbors' name comes first, but Malik Neighbors and Jalen Hyatt, if they are, I'm waiting for the tweet to just like crush my enthusiasm right now and be like, JJ McCarthy, you are a New York Giant, and I'm just gonna be day ruined. 3-1. Okay, day ruined. Day already ruined. The pick is in, but we're really not. Is someone gonna post this? The real question is, do the Jets take Brock Bowers or do they take an offensive lineman? Yeah,
I think
it's Neighbors.
they have needs. Really?
Yeah,
Is that official?
Bleacher Report just posted it as well. Daniel Jones in the graphic is actually wild.
Maybe they haven't given up on Jones yet.
No, dude, they haven't. In the risk. It's what you were saying as well. You can't take that risk. It's a massive risk.
Especially this year, maybe next year.
I agree. I'm interested to see. So, okay. The Vikings are going to get JJ McCarthy now at the 11th. I think their patience will pay off. But I want undrafted status. So that's official. Beautiful move for the Giants. I'm excited. Wide receiver room. We finally have our first elite weapon since OBJ. You know what? You get a QB later on here?
Yeah, Malik. Yeah, NFL just posted 26 seconds ago. Malik Neighbors, you are a New York Giant.
You get a QB, good. Man.
I'm happy about that.
I can't complain. I think that's the right move. I think Joe Shane was probably trying to play poker. Yeah. But I think that the Vikings didn't give, and the Patriots wanted their guy, and I think that's the way that it is.
And again, now in the situation that the Giants sit in now, if they want to go get a quarterback, I think the best move is to maybe trade back in towards the end of the first and grab Bo Nix or Michael Penix.
I agree.
If not, just ride with Jones again next year and see what happens.
And I think, so we're looking at it now. JJ McCarthy fell pretty far, which is good news for the Giants to see QBs falling far because our next pick is at 47. So I think JJ McCarthy falls in here. I don't know. Bo Nix, does he get drafted? I'm really messing up with this. Does he get drafted right around 12 and 13? He might.
It's possible. Impossible.
I don't
think the Broncos need a quarterback. The Broncos are not riding with Zach Wilson this season.
Oh my God. My friend, wait, Sean is at the Islanders game? The more you know. I thought he was going to text us about the Giants, but apparently he doesn't get the brand, and he's not even watching this, and he's one of our dear friends. So that's quite rude of him. Yeah, but the Broncos, as you said, need a quarterback. And I don't know. I could see them reaching. There was some talk about Michael Penix and someone reaching on him.
Yeah. I wouldn't take Penix in the first round, though.
No, I wouldn't either.
At the very end of the first.
I think that would be a dumb life decision. I think you'd trade back to do something like that. But I'm not ruling that out. I'm excited. When are we going to update this depth chart? Get it updated for me. Get me Jalen Hyatt. Get me Wando Robinson. No more Malik
Neighbors.
Scary
wide receiver room now. That is a scary room.
It is. It got a lot better. It's no longer Darius Slayton as the primary wide receiver. That's beautiful. Like, for so long. Like, Isaiah Hodgins was our primary wide receiver one year. That's absurd. I think I was a waiver wire pickup that helped us in the playoffs.
That's crazy. But again, if Daniel Jones can do that with those kind of weapons, what can he do with a real weapon? Okay. We shall see.
Brother, we got to talk. What are we talking about here?
We'll see. Hey, I trust our guys. I don't know about you.
I feel like for me, I'm going to stay on this till maybe the Jets pick, depending on how long this takes. And then once we're out of the top 10, I'm probably calling it because, like, what are you going to watch? Now this part where you start to get to the guys that I don't even know who that is. Like, then you get to, like, these cornerbacks and you're like, oh, listen, how much prep work do you think I did? I don't care who's going in the mid-round. can't believe he's at the Islanders game. Why is he spending money to go to the Islanders game? He's a Ranger fan. What is he doing? It's a joke.
It's a novelty. He wants to root for the Hurricanes.
No, he wants to root for the Islanders because then he gets an easier team and home field advantage.
Oh, that is true.
I mean, come on now.
Well, he's scouting. He's scouting right now.
Yeah, well, he's scouting the Hurricanes, I hope, because the Islanders are out of this team in the series. So, I mean, Knicks are winning again. Wow. Oh my gosh.
That's good.
Let's get an out of town score update for Ehrm. That didn't go well for you.
Yeah, we're having a good season. Having a good start. Can't win them all.
You know what I will say? So the Islanders are losing 3-1. The Yankees are losing 3-1. Let's get into a little bit more parallels. If the Yankees come back, the Islanders will come back. I'm hitting you with so many parallels right now. Like I've really gotten into the whole parallel thing. Obviously, you see the 2024-1994 parallel. I'm gonna say this right now. This is a working theory I've had. I've told multiple of our friends about it, about how the New York Giants will win a Super Bowl in 2027.
You told me about that.
Yep,
that
in 2031.
Nice. That would be nice.
I also think the New York Mets are going to win a World Series in 2026, paralleling 1986, actually. So they've got a bit of a wider gap, but that's okay. We can't allow 20-year parallels, you know what I'm saying? Some of us have to have 50-year parallels. I mean, this has got to be a Disney. I would be shocked.
I think after this pick, we should probably wrap it up because there's nothing left to talk about.
Yeah, honestly, I have to agree with you.
We got our guy. We'll see what happens there.
I mean, I will say, took way too long with no trades. I'm upset.
It's absurd. There's no reason. It's all for the TV. It's for the commercial breaks.
I'm distraught. We've got Dan here. Dan, is there anything you would like to say about the Giants draft pick? Dan has nothing to say.
Do you not like it?
No, I think it's good.
Then I think it's pretty good, man.
Dan's sitting in the corner. He's our producer today. Shout out to Dan.
Hello.
Guest producer.
He's just here.
He's Al Dukes.
I mean, you had to give him a shout out. He's working on his podcast. He's doing great things right now. Kid's got a bright future.
Maybe he should plug his podcast before.
Maybe I should. The audio file's on the computer, but I don't think he would be happy with me. And I also don't know how to do it. Oh my gosh. This is really a tough day for my family. Like, my dad has got to be so upset. He lost his phone in the train station platform at UBS, and his team is getting absolutely destroyed. Like, oh my gosh. I got to call him tomorrow to console him. I would text him, we got neighbors, but he can't even read it.
Yeah, I would text him, but
so it's over. Tennessee selects Alabama tackle J.C. Latham. What?
Interesting.
Yeah, well, okay. I guess that's all we have. We gave our shout out to Dan. I feel like once this all wrap and all these days wrap up, we'll probably get back out here and give a debrief to it.
Keep an eye on what happens on day 2. But for now,
I'm gonna stop sharing the Zoom, and now I'm going to finally go back. Oh, I'm in Chrome. I'm going to go back to YouTube, and I'm going to take this moment to say bye to everyone. Glad the Giants got the Malik Neighbors. I don't know, Herb, do you have anything else to say?
Nothing else. I'd just say keep an eye on the end of this draft, this round. Maybe we'll trade back in. Probably not, but maybe. And if not that, see what happens on day 2.
Yeah, in which case, I'll just send out a tweet or something. I mean, you know what? If they get Bo Nix or Michael Penix, you already know what to expect. We'll be pretty happy. More Bo Nix. You're more Bo Nix.
Quarterback too. Yeah.
I'm more Penix. So a bit of division, but it's okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess bye everyone. Have a good one. End stream. Beautiful work, Herm. This is